Hello all, May 18th, 2012. Well, Pink Barrio we have an actual winner that guessed the letter right on. And okay, let's just get right to the oil news. We actually have some really good news to report. The Elgin oil gas platform in the North Sea has capped the gas leak. That is really good news. They hadn't expected to cap it this quickly. Good for those guys. Bad for us for needing this gas so badly that they have to go out in such a place to get it. The second item I wanted to talk to you about was which countries are the biggest providers for the oil and gas that we have on the planet. Well, let's go to the board and let's check it out. Okay, this is the comparison of the oil reserves throughout the planet. Saudi Arabia has the most, as we all probably thought, but a lot of people have been saying that the U.S. is now second. Well, I hate to tell you, U.S. isn't even on this list. Venezuela is number 2, Canada is number 3 with their dirty, filthy oil sands oil. Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and Russia. That's the current list of oil production. Of proven oil reserves throughout the world. Where does this information come from? This information comes from the United States Intelligence Information Agency. Intelligence? Anyway, that's the latest I could find. Let's go check out Brent crude. As you know, the prices of oil have been plummeting because of the economy throughout the world is causing people not to drive as much, not to spend as much money on oil and gas. They're cutting back on their driving. Let's go check out Brent crude. Okay, because of all the corporate news hype over the Facebook IPO launch, the stock market looks like a roller coaster. It's pathetic. And of course, Brent crude oil futures is copying it. So let's get ready. Try not to get too dizzy here. Starts out about 107, went down to about 106.6, came back up, went back all the way down to here, came all the way back up to almost 107.8, and then sort of floated along, and then crashed all the way down to 106.2 or so. And then it sort of been doing this kind of thing all day, and is pretty much at my finish is 107.5. Okay, let's go see if the gas prices, what they're doing. How can they figure out their prices with it going like that? Inexpensive gas station. Expensive gas station. California is under a problem because we don't have enough refineries to process our gasoline, so our prices are much higher than most everywhere in the States. But we'll still use it as a comparison. Okay, let's go out and check out the boats in San Francisco Bay. Alright, looks like we have 2 barges in the bay. Yesterday was pretty foggy, but there were no barges in San Francisco Bay. Alright, let's go over and let's go talk about clairvoyance and who actually won or guessed the correct letter. Well, let's go over the board and I'll tell you. Okay, on May 9th, XEXEX came in with a number 3 guess when the actual answer was number 2. So he was one off. Not too bad. Steve Chandler came in second with a number 8 on that particular experiment. This particular experiment, we guessed what letter it was from A to Z. XEXEX guessed an F. Chuck Bolin over on Pink Barrio homepage guessed an M. Let's see exactly who won. Who exactly got my transmission? Alright, let's see here. This tape's pretty good, so I didn't use so much. But we want it to be legit. Oh boy, it's really on there. Alright. Cut that one off. And this is letter. It was an M. Alright, Chuck. Well, this is pretty interesting because there were only 2 people that took part in the first one, and there was, an XEXEX got it within one number, And the second time it was from A to Z, and someone, out of two people, someone guessed it. So my clairvoyance transmission must be pretty serious. It didn't used to be this good. So down the road we'll do some more of this. While I was up doing the barges on the bay, I said to myself, well, we haven't done the science on this yet. Well, there's only one place we can do that. It's back to the board. So, this is how it breaks down. Here's San Francisco, this is Las Vegas, and this is Georgia, Oakwood, Georgia. The distances from San Francisco to Las Vegas is 563 miles. The distance between San Francisco and Georgia is 2,157 miles, roughly. And that's to Oakwood. I think that's where Stephen Chandler, the red mud painter out of Georgia, he lives there. He participated in our experiment. So maybe this whole thing is connected to distance, how far I can transmit. Maybe it's that kind of thing. Maybe I only have 500 or 600 miles distance I can transmit my signal. Or maybe it's how my orientation was, and the signal, instead of being omnidirectional, is directional. So what I did is I figured out which way I was facing when I sent the signal out. And so here's my face. I was facing this direction. That means the signal went out the back of my head. I thought it was supposed to go out the front. Maybe, Stephen, maybe you weren't receiving correctly. Which way was your head facing? Maybe that's it. Maybe our heads have to be facing away from each other, and the transmitter and receiver are in the back of our heads. All right, well, there's the science. It must come out somewhere back here. You know, the third eye thing. Maybe that's it. Maybe the third eye isn't a third eye. Maybe it's a transmitter. Until next time.